Okay, so today we're going to do about a 60-minute yoga practice that is easy on the knees. And this is more of a stretching and relaxation practice, which is perfect for those off days in between the gym. So if you could just find a seated position, and also if you are able to purchase one of these yoga blocks, they're really helpful for a lot of different poses. So I'm going to give the option to use this with certain poses. One thing it's great for is, and you can get two of these too if you'd like. I actually have a double pair. So these are great for some of the seated poses. So when we start, you can start seated in easy pose or Sukhasana with your legs crossed. You can either cross them at the ankles or if your hips are feeling flexible, you can just have one leg kind of in front of, or one foot in front of the other. Another great seated pose or Virasana. This can be hard on people's knees if you do the full pose, which is sitting back on your heels. So what's great about these blocks is you can stack them up in any which way or use one of them, and you can actually put them behind you. So if you'll notice, I've got them stacked here, and then I'll bring my knees together and my ankles are apart, and then I can just perch on top of these. So this is also really great, especially if you've got knee pain. So pick whichever pose you want to start with, something that feels comfortable. I'm going to come into Sukhasana, and we're just going to get grounded down through our tailbones. And I want you to close your eyes. You can bring your hands to your knees, whichever seated pose you're in. Close your eyes and just start to let yourself relax, go inward. And notice your breath cycling in and out of your lungs. And take a big, long, deep inhale. Fill all the way up and then exhale it out. Let's do that one more time. This time on the inhale, feel your spine grow nice and long as you grow taller up towards the sky. Inhale, grow long. Inhale through the nose. And sigh it out through the mouth. One more time. Keeping the eyes closed. Just use this time to feel some peace starting to set in. Feel the quiet, contemplative time of yoga begin. With each breath in and out. And just start to track your breath, breathing in and out through the nose with long, quiet inhales and exhales. you've started to slouch through the spine, just gently feel yourself rise up, grounding down through that tailbone. You should feel as if there's a string on the top of your head that's being pulled upwards towards the ceiling. If any thoughts come into your mind, just gently let them go and come back to resting your attention on your breath. Slowly crack the eyes open. Bring your gaze forward. And we're going to start with just some gentle stretches to the neck and to the side. So first we're going to slightly bring our necks over to the right side. Bring your arm over. You can just gently rest that on your left cheek and just let it put a bit of weight on your head just to get a nice stretch through the left side of the neck. Remember to breathe deeply, inhale and exhale. If you want to go a bit deeper, you can take that left arm, bring it out to the side and behind you and just walk it back a bit. It should help you deepen your stretch. Release the hand, take it over to your right cheek, and use your hand to assist the head to come back to center. And then we're going to do the other side. So bring the head to the left side. Gently wrap that left arm over to the right cheek. Allow it to gently put some weight on your head. You don't want this to be forced. It's just nice and easy. Use that right arm to assist. Just bring it back behind you a bit. Really stretch the fingers down to the ground. Breathe here. Release that left hand. Bring it over to the left cheek. Assist the head up to center. Good. Let's do some shoulder rolls. And then reverse it. Squeeze the shoulders up. Squeeze, 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 and then gently release them down. Bring them up again. Squeeze them nice and tight, and then gently release down. Nice job. Okay, we're going to do some side bends. So inhale your left arm up. The right arm starts to walk over to the side. You can do this in Virasana as well, if you're in that, the other pose, seated on the knees. Nice job. Inhale, come back up, and then exhale over to the other side. And you're using this hand here to give you a nice bit of an assist. So you're putting some weight into that hand. And if you want to stretch those fingertips on the right side way over, you'll get a deeper stretch all along that right side, along the rib cage and the hips. And then inhale Inhale, come up. Let's do one more time to the left. And then over to the right. I think I just reversed my directions. And come back up to center. And from here, if you're seated on the floor in Sukhasana, you can put your hands slightly behind you. If you're in Virasana, in that crouched position, you can interlace the hands behind your back. You can actually do this in this Sukhasana pose as well. But either one, we're just going to do a slight back bend. So fingers can be behind us, hands behind us. If you do the interlace and squeeze, this will open up the chest. So this is a really slight back bend. What you want is your upper chest is pointing upwards. We're not going to hang the head totally behind us. We're just going to look up slightly. Breathe here. Nice job, and release that. Okay, now we'll do a twist. So again, in either seated pose, you should be able to do this fine. So we're going to take the right hand, bring it over to the left leg or the left knee. Left hand's going to go behind us. We're going to, on the inhale, we're going to let the spine lengthen and grow taller. So we're going to inhale, and then exhale, just twist over to the left just a bit. We're going to do this slowly. So on the inhale, we lengthen the spine, we grow taller. And then on the exhale, we twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Don't go into this too deeply. We're still at the beginning of practice, so just enjoy a gentle twist here. You can stay in the twist. And release. Other side. So that left hand reaches over to the right leg or the right knee. Right hand's going to go behind us. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Now when we lengthen, we don't want to be really tense and, you know, like we're trying to salute in the military. Instead, it's just a nice lengthening of those bones in your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then just stay in the twist for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale, release. Nice job. And then from here, we're just going to round our spine over after that twisting and that back bending. Just going to round over it, kind of like your cat. Oh, we're gonna, kind of like where you want to be gazing at your navel here. So we're gazing at the navel, and that back, the whole of our back is nice and curved, so we're just giving a nice stretch through those lower back muscles. If you reach your hands out in front of you while you do this, you'll get a nice stretch on the outer sides of the shoulders right here. Awesome. And if you're in Sukhasana, feel free, you can also, with a long spine now, you can just walk the hands in front of you a bit. And with your spine nice and long, so I'll show you the difference. This is the first pose here, where we're just getting a nice stretch to the back. Now we've got a long integrated spine, we're walking forward, and this just gives us a little bit of a hip stretch here. Awesome, come back up from that. Okay, so we're coming to our backs now, and we're going to do a little bit of a sequence called spinal floss that my teacher Margot Sorum created. So what we're going to do is, if you're on a mat, obviously you lie whichever way your mat is laid out. I'm gonna, let's see, why here? Okay. So, first we're gonna bring the knees up into the chest, into Apanasana. I want you to bring your hands to the tops of your knees. And first, and your fingers are pointing forward, we're going to pull the knees in towards the chest, and you can feel the lower back and the tailbone rise off of the floor. And then, so this is going to be our exhale. On the inhale, we're going to start to push the knees out until we're going to keep holding on with our hands on our kneecaps. We can't go any further, and your lower back should lift a little bit off the floor. And if you just try to rock your pelvis forward to keep lifting the lower back off the floor while you're still holding onto the knees, you'll feel that lower back arch a little bit more. It's almost like you're trying to get your toes to touch the floor, but you can't because you're still holding on. But if you kept going, they would boop, just touch the floor here. So these are pelvic rocks. So we're going to exhale, bring this in. Inhale, lengthen, rock the pelvis forward. The toes are almost touching the floor. And exhale, bring it in. Everything rounds in the back, low back. Inhale, rock forward. Lengthen the arms. And then exhale, bring everything in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And again, your low back should be rising off the floor on the inhale, and then coming back to touch, and then the tailbone maybe comes off a bit. Okay, we can do this a little bit faster if you want. So it's almost like a rocking motion. Awesome. All right, so we're going to grab onto the left knee. We're going to extend that right leg out. And we're going to interlace our hands around our knees. If you can't do that, that's okay. Just hold on to either side of the shin. And so from here, we're going to do essentially the same motion. So we're going to inhale. We're going to try to push the knee against our hands and keep holding on. So now we've got a bit of a counter motion going on, or an isometric stretch. So we're pushing our knee into our hands, and our hands are resisting. So keep pushing, pushing, pushing. You should get some nice little bit of heat building in the hip muscles. You can feel it a bit throughout the thighs. Keep breathing here. Okay, gently release that pushing motion. Just relax. You're still holding on to the knee. And now we're going to do a bit more of that pelvic rocking with just the one knee. So we're going to inhale, extend outward, low back comes off the floor, and then exhale, you can bring that knee in. You should get a bit of a stretch throughout the groin, or you might feel a stretch throughout the groin. Inhale, rock the knee forward. Exhale, bring it to the chest. Inhale, knee goes forward, low back lifts off the floor. Exhale, bring everything in. Low back is on the floor. Continue this for a few breaths. Nice. And now we're going to extend the left leg up towards the sky. And from here, if you want to just hold on to the hamstring, you can. And we're just going to point and flex the foot. And let's maybe circle the ankle around. Circle it the other way. Point and flex. Nice. And now let's just, assist with our hands, just bring our leg back for a hamstring stretch here. Don't go too deep with it. It's not about being crazy flexible. You just want to give a nice bit of a stretch to the hamstring here. Awesome. if you're really feeling it, you can walk the hands up the leg. And you can even, if you've got the flexibility and you want to go this far today, you can grab onto the toe. If you have a strap handy, or a belt, or sometimes I use the belt from my bathrobe, you can actually wrap a strap around your foot and hold on to the strap too. A couple more breaths here. Awesome. Okay, from here we're bringing the leg into tabletop, so it's a 90-degree angle. So the shin is parallel to the floor, and your thigh is perpendicular to the floor. And I forgot to mention, if you have a block or something bulky nearby, you might want to use it. I'm going to put it on my right side. So we've got the left leg up into tabletop. We're going to take our hands and interlace them and place them on our left thigh. Or not, I'm sorry, our left hip, not the thigh, just above the hip. And then from here, we're going to inhale, exhale. We're going to bring that leg over to the right side. If you've got the block handy, you can land on the block if you don't want to go all the way down to the floor. Or you can just bring it part way over to the side. So that's an inhale, exhale, bring it over. And the hands are going to stay on that hip. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, bring it over. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, bring it over. Inhale, up. Exhale, over. Inhale, up. And now we're going to stay in the twist, so bring it over. This again is when the block can be really nice assist. And then from here, we're going to bring our right hand over to our left thigh. And we can use that to push. If we want to push into a deeper twist, we can with this. And then we're going to draw the left hand up the ribs, up to the armpit, and then up to the left shoulder. And then we're going to do circles with our elbows. So circle in one direction, circle in the other. Awesome. And then from here, we're going to extend that arm up to the sky and then bring it back behind us to reach overhead. And those fingertips are going to create a tent on the floor. And you're going to rest the fingertips on the floor. Really, you can walk the fingertips back for a deeper stretch into the shoulder. Nice job. And now walk the fingertips over to the right side. You're going to come into like a fetal position. Bring that right knee under the left knee. And now you can roll back onto your back with both knees. I'm going to bring my block to my other side. And now I'm going to do the right side. So clasp the knee or shin. And then we're going to extend that left foot out. And now we're going to do our isometric stretch. So we're going to press the knee into our foot. Oh, look, Kush is doing up dog. He wants to do some yoga too. Hi, buddy. Okay. We're going to keep pressing that into, press the knee into the hands. Holding on. This is really, really great for your hips. It's both a strengthening and a stretching move. And release that tension. And now we're going to do our pelvic rocks on one side. So we're going to inhale and we're going to press the knee into our hands, and then exhale, pull the knee to the chest. Inhale, press the knee outward, let the low back lift off the floor, and then exhale, bring everything in, low back comes to the floor. Let's do that a few more times. Try to pair the movements with the breath. Nice. And now we're going to extend that right leg up towards the sky. And you can put your hands behind the thigh. You can reach up towards your shin. You can even try to reach for the toe. Hold on to the stretch. Breathe through it. Most people's hamstrings are pretty tight, so don't worry. If you're over here, that's great. All that matters is we're just getting a nice stretch to the hamstrings. All right, let's work our feet out a little bit. Do a point and flex. Roll the foot around one direction and then the other. And then point and flex a bit more. Awesome. All right, time for our twist. So bring the leg into a tabletop position at 90-degree angles. Hands are going to interlace and come to your right hip. And if you want to use a block, so if you want to go real deep into the twist and it feels good, you can bring the knee all the way to the floor when we go to that final resting position. But this is why the block is great if you're feeling tight or it's just not comfortable. Okay, so hands are at the waist, and we're going to inhale and exhale, bring it over. You don't have to bring it over too much, just a little bit is fine. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, bring the leg and the knee over. Inhale, bring it back to center, and we're keeping that 90-degree angle with our right foot as much as possible. Inhale, exhale, bring it over. Inhale, exhale, bring it over. And you should notice your left leg, which is extended, is also kind of rolling back and forth as you do this. Inhale. Okay, exhale, we're going to stay. Hands are still at the waist. And each side may feel different. One side might feel tighter than the other. That's perfectly normal. Now we're going to bring our left leg to our right thigh, and then our right hand is going to trace up our ribs up to the shoulder, and then we'll do our elbow circles in one direction and then in the other. All right, from here we're going to bring that arm up and back and over, tent the fingers. Oh yeah, and the fingers can walk back a little bit further to deepen that stretch through the shoulder. This is a great time to use deep breaths here. Nice full inhales that expand through the rib cage. And full exhales, letting it all go. And then we're going to slowly walk over into our fetal position on the left side. Bring that left leg up to meet the right leg, so we're in fetal position. And then we can rock and push ourselves onto our backs one more time. Let's just hug our knees into the chest. Give us a low back stretch. Nice job. And we're going to do a hip stretch here. So we're going to make essentially a figure 4. So bring your left foot down to the ground. The right ankle is going to cross over the left, and then we're going to push the knee out. So you're kind of making a figure 4. If you can see that from this angle, this is what it looks like from my view. So we're in this figure 4 shape, and then we're going to bring that left foot off the ground, and whatever feels comfortable you can hang on to underneath that thigh. If you're really feeling flexible, you can try to grab that shin. I'm going to hold on to the thigh here, and then flex the foot on the right side. So flex your right foot, point the left toe, or the left foot, and then just start, see how much you can sort of bring your thigh towards the chest in this shape. You'll probably be feeling it a lot right here on the right hips. This is a really, really great stretch for tight hips, and pretty much everybody in the world has tight hips, especially from all the walking, standing, and anybody who's a runner or who does any kind of cardio exercises. It's very easy to get tight hips. So it's always good to have these stretches for the hips. If you want to take it a bit further, you can place your right hand on the right thigh and just press slightly. We'll get you deeper into it while you're bringing the left foot towards your chest. I'm sorry, the left leg towards the chest. Okay, release the left foot down towards the ground, and then release the right foot. Nice job. So let's extend the legs out in front of us to do, this is one of my favorite things. This is a spinal chugging. So I want you to have your feet about hip width distance apart, right? So they should, each foot should align with your hip bones. Flex the feet up towards the sky, and I want you to press the heels down into the floor and just very slightly, it's called a micro bend, right? Just slightly bend the knees. So this is a big bend. We're just gonna do a tiny bit of a bend so the knees come off, and we're pressing the heels down towards the ground. So you should feel the whole back part of your leg muscles light up. So from here, I want you to go back and forth between flexing and pointing the feet. And if you're really pressing through the heels, what it's gonna do is it's gonna bring your whole body along for the ride. So this is called chugging. So the feet are like flippers. They go back and forth. And again, you need a micro bend in the knees. So your legs aren't really touching the ground. Your butt is touching the ground, your heels are touching the ground, and your whole back and head, but not the underside of your legs. So just do some chugging here. And then release. Let your legs fall out to the side and just enjoy this. All right, let's do our hip stretch on the left leg. So bring both legs up. Feet are on the ground. We're going to take our left foot, cross it over that right thigh, flex your left foot, and now bring the right foot off the ground. Bring the hands behind the thigh, or you can wrap them around the shin. And then from here, we're gonna slowly just, it's nice and gentle, just start to hug your right thigh towards the chest. And if you want to use that assist to press your left hand against your left thigh, you can. bring your awareness back to your breath. And release. Let's do one more round of quick chugging. Chug it out. All right, awesome. So from here, let's bring the knees back up. We're going to roll onto our side into a fetal position and then push ourselves up. And we're going to do a couple of standing poses. You need a quick water break. Now's a good time for it. Okay, we're getting ready for our tree. So feet are underneath the hips, toes are pointing forward. Bring the weight to the front of the heels. Your pelvis is slightly tipped backwards into that anterior tilt. And then you're going to slowly bring your weight over onto your right side. So you can just barely start to bring that left foot off the floor. And then we're slowly going to bring the left foot to meet the right ankle. And you can leave this here if you like this for tree. If you want to go, if you want to go upwards and bring the hands into Anjali Mudra or prayer pose, you can bring the knee up, any position along the leg that feels comfortable. If you want to have it on the knee, that's fine. If you want to go all the way to the top, you can use an assist to bring that foot all the way into the thigh. Remember, if you fall out, that's totally fine. You might be swaying here a bit. This is really great for bringing strength to support your knees and your ankles. If you want to challenge yourself, you can bring the hands up, grow your tree. Keep breathing. And slowly release. See if you can bring that out without just collapsing down to the ground. Okay, other side. Let's actually bring the hands into prayer pose first. That helps to stabilize us a bit more. Okay, we're going to bring the weight into the left foot so that the right foot can start to come off the ground. You can bring the foot to the ankle, slide it up to the shin or the knee, or if you want to do the thigh, if you feel comfortable to use an assist with your hand, that's fine. And we're going to hang out here. Bring your attention to your breath. Grow your tree if you'd like. And release that down. Nice. Might want to shake out those feet a bit. All right. Get some more water. Okay, so we're going to make our way back down to the floor for some seated poses. So any way that's comfortable to get back down onto the ground. And from here, we're actually going to, rather than a seated pose, we're going to come to our bellies. So I'm going to swing the legs around we're gonna lie down on our bellies. And let's just come into a crocodile pose. So lay one hand over another and in your forehead on top. And just kind of enjoy hanging out here for a minute. Notice as you breathe how it feels with your ribs against the floor, expanding on the inhale and contracting on the exhale. We're going to rise up into a Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows underneath your shoulders. Your hands should be parallel to one another, and your arms should be parallel to one another. And as you press through the elbows down into the ground, so press down with the elbows, that's going to deepen this back stretch. So this is a really intense stretch on the low back, depending on how tight your back is. Mine is very tight, so I can really feel this pose. Make sure your feet are nice and in a relaxed position, just hanging out on the ground. Now, there's two options here. You can, if you tighten the glutes, then you feel some of that intensity release off of the low back. So that's fine if that feels better. Or if you want to intensify this back stretch, then try to really relax all those glute muscles. This is a really great stretch to keep a healthy back. And come back down into crocodile. Okay, we're going to bring the arms behind us with the palms facing up. So our hands are essentially next to our thighs. And then we're going to bring our feet to touch. So our legs, our entire inner legs are touching. And then we are going to bring our hands behind us to clasp. So this is locust pose. This is going to be a little bit of a more of an intense fiery pose. So on an inhale, we're going to bring the chest and the shoulders off the ground. We're going to reach those hands that are clasped behind us. Breathe into it. It's a lot of work on the back muscles, on the lower back. One more inhale. Exhale, release down. Keep the hands clasped behind you. This time we're going to do it again, but also our legs are going to lift off the ground like so. So we're not just going to bend at the knees, we're going to really try to like lift our legs up from the hips. So bring those feet in close together, point the toes, inhale, bring everything up. If it's easier not to be clasping and you want to just reach behind you like so, you can also do this. Oh yeah, keep trying to bring everything up. If it's easier also to separate the legs, you can do that as well. No problem. One more big inhale. Go as high as you can. And exhale, bring everything down. Oh, that feels so good. Oh yeah, if you want, you can wiggle the hips back and forth. Just wiggle it out. Nice job. And let's come up into our Sphinx pose one more time. Oh yeah. from here, we're going to press into child's pose. Bring the knees out wide and the feet are touching. So essentially it looks like this. And then we're going to rock our hips all the way back to where our feet are. And then if it's comfortable, you can bring your head down to touch on the ground. So essentially, here's child's pose from the side. So this will stretch our lower back the other direction after being in those back bends. And let's walk our hands up, roll onto one of their sides, and then we can swing the legs around. Now we're in our seated position. So we're going to do, from here, we're going to widen the legs. So hopefully you have plenty of room. If you don't have room, don't feel free to just leave the legs together out in front of you. You'll just get stretch a different part of the legs. So in either position, I want you to flex the feet so the toes are pointing upwards. Here, I'm going to actually rotate so you can see better. And then from here, so I want all of the muscles in your legs to feel activated. So really press out through the heels. Toes are pointed upward, you're flexed, and you're trying to press your legs down into the ground and out. And then from here, we're gonna keep a long spine here. So you don't need to fold over very far. We're just gonna walk the hands out slightly. If your legs are spread out wide, you're getting a really great stretch here on the inner groin and in muscles right here. And if you're in if your legs are straight out in front of you, you're going to feel a stretch in your hamstrings. Nice job, rise up. Okay, from here, we're going to do a bit of core work before we start cooling down. So I want you to bring the feet down to the ground, legs are bent. From here, we're going to start to lean back, long spine. Slouching like this is not going to do you any good in this pose. So from here, if you want, you can bring the hands underneath the thighs and rock onto your sit bones. These are your sit bones here underneath. And bring your, see if you can bring your shins parallel to the floor. And again, if you're slouching, see if you can use your hands to assist you to bring you into a straight position. And then just see if you can hold this without your hands. Breathe through it. If you want to go even further, you can straighten the legs. A few more rounds of breath here. Awesome. And slowly release. And from here, we're going to calm down onto our backs. If you have a block, you might want to use this. If not, no worries. We're going to do bridge pose. So bring the feet down to the ground. The legs are bent. I'm going to lie back down. And from here, feet are close enough so that to your glutes, so that you can pretty much like touch the heels with your fingertips, just barely. And your feet are as wide as your hips, planted firmly into the ground. From here, really important, once we go up into the bridge, please don't turn your head to the side to look. You can actually really injure your neck that way. So I want you to keep looking straight up towards the ceiling. So we're going to inhale, bring the hips up to the sky. Feel a bit of workout on the low back. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. All right, now we're going to stay. Inhale, lift up. Press down through the heels. As you press down with your feet and your heels, your hips should go higher and higher. If you want to, you can clasp the hands underneath or just press the hands down into the ground. Keep pressing up. You might feel a bit of a burn in your thighs here. And slowly bring it back down. We're going to do that one more time. Now, if you want to be doing a restorative version of bridge, you can always take your block and set it right underneath your sacrum bone. So that's kind of where that flat part, it's kind of near your tailbone. So you can lift up, slide the block underneath, and then just hang out here, it's pretty amazing. And one of the reasons why I finally broke down and got a yoga block. So your choice. Lift on up if you're not up already. Hold here for a few breaths. Keep breathing. One more inhale, lift up. If you have the block, lift up so you can remove the block. Exhale slowly. You can feel vertebrae by vertebrae. Your back coming back down to the ground. And release. Nice. From here, bring the knees into the chest. You want to circle them. That can feel really good. Other way around. If you'd like to do a happy baby, you grab the outside edges of your feet, or you can just grab the outside of your shins. Knees go wide, feet go wide, like you're in a squat. So you can just, if you want to pull the knees down towards the ground. So that looks like this. Or you can hold on if you're able to. If not, that's fine. Just grab onto the legs. And then release everything down into our final pose, which is Shavasana. This is actually a really important part of yoga, so this is a time when we just get to feel the whole practice, how it's affected our body, our state of mind, our spirit. So bring the legs out about as wide as your mat. Feet fall out to each side. Bring your arms a little bit wider, like maybe a foot or so away from your body. Palms are facing up. If you have a blanket nearby, I really love doing Shavasana with a blanket and also an eye pillow or a scarf or something to go over my eyes. And you want to take at least 5 minutes to just lie here and rest and relax.
deeper breaths. Nice big inhale. And an exhale. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe roll the wrists and the ankles. And then slowly stretch the arms overhead. Really stretch as long as you can from fingers to toes. Deep breaths here. Eyes are still closed. And now roll onto one side into a fetal position. Rest here for a breath cycle. And inhale, push yourself up. Eyes are still closed. Come into an easy seated pose. Bring the hands to heart center. And allow yourself to feel the integration of the whole practice into your body, your mind, and your spirit. Thank you very much for letting me share this practice with you. And the light within me bows and honors the light within you. Thank you.